Hey, it's me, Tammy B. I just jumped on to do a quick review for American Horror Story Season 6, Episode 2. So, as we finally know that this episode is about a colony in Roanoke, North Carolina. So, apparently, in real life, if I'm not mistaken, there were these people in that area in the 1500s that just mysteriously disappeared. So, it seems like the underlying theme is that those missing people are now terrorizing anyone who lives in this specific house, or maybe just in that area, period. So we have a couple, the husband name is Matt and the wife name is Shelby, and they are all super in love and happily married and whatnot, and they decide to spend their whole life savings on this big farmhouse. I mean, 80 acres of land is amazing. Oh, I don't know. No, the 80 acres, I got that from Queen Sugar. I'm getting the shows mixed up. But all of that land for $40,000 is a lot. So even though it was dumb for him to jump from $20,000 to $40,000, hey, at the end of the day, coming from Los Angeles, I bet you he was like, psh, even though this is my life savings, $40,000 for all of this. But when they said, oh, you couldn't build, I would have been like, well, not that I plan on building land, any building or whatever. And the house was so big, what would they need to build? Even if they had like 3 kids, they clearly still got enough room. So I guess maybe that's why he wasn't bothered by that. So anyway, this season, this episode, basically more drama of them getting haunted. So Angela Bassett, Matt's sister Shelby, so she's still staying with them. I kind of thought she would go back home. It seemed like Matt is back home from his trip, so I don't know why she's still there. But hey, she broke and lonely anyway, so maybe she ain't got nothing to do. So, let's just touch on some stuff with Angela Bassett. So as we know, she doesn't have custody of her daughter. So her ex-husband, his name is Mason in the show, he comes drop her off. And even the ex-husband and the daughter, when they rolled up, I could tell they seen something eerie. They were like, oh, the kid was like, where's the farms? The animals, this don't look like no farm, or whatever. But you know how it is, or maybe, hopefully, no, don't know. But, when you the other parent dropping the kid off, you be trying not to make a big deal out of stuff. And I could tell, to me, it seemed like that's what the daddy doing. Like, hey, this house seemed eerie, but hey, we already got a bunch of, divorce drama. I'm gonna just go ahead and let the daughter stay with her mammy, like the custody say, right? So she keeps the daughter and everything is fine. They playing games, she making lunch, but while she making lunch, the little daughter disappeared. The daughter name is Flora. She's a cute little girl. So Flora goes missing. So Angela Bassett walks around the house and finds Flora standing in front of this baby mini closet. And she was like, oh, what you doing? And Flora like, I'm talking to my friend named Priscilla. And at first it just seemed like an imaginary friend. But I don't know, maybe just because I was raised by old school people, like having an imaginary friend was not okay or normal. Like if I would have said, oh, I'm playing for my imaginary friend, they would have called Kedron on me. Kedron is like, I don't want to mislabel them, but they deal with youth who have, one of the groups of people that they deal with is a youth that have mental illnesses or struggles. So when the girl said that, Angel was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what? Like, you ain't gonna ask no questions? But hey, I don't know. I know if any of my kids said they have an imaginary friend, I'd be asking questions like, when did you see them? How long? What they look like? What y'all be doing? Like, she didn't ask no follow-up questions. But in her defense, hey, she ain't seen the child in 2 weeks. You don't want to start jumping down the kid's throat because they probably gonna tell their daddy, oh, I don't want to go to mama house no more. So I kind of see why she did it, but hey, I don't play with imaginary friends. So anyway, she ignores it or whatever. So then later on, the daddy come around and pick up the kid, and they couldn't find the kid. And then she gonna say, oh, she's playing her game of hide and seek that she made up. You can't make up hide and seek. You can't change the rules. Hide and seek is industry standard. You can't just make up your own rules. They gonna say, oh, ever since she was 3, she had her own way of playing. Like, we don't never know that it's a game. We just, when we can't find her, that's when we realize she playing hide and seek, and now we gotta find her. What? If I would play hide and seek and it was time to go, oh, when I got found, That would have been my last game of hide and seek. But hey, this is new school parenting, so I guess. So boom, the daddy and the mama go around looking for Flora. They find Flora in the hallway closet again, and she was like, oh, you just made Priscilla run away. I was trying to give her my doll as a peace offering because Priscilla said they gonna kill everybody in this house, including me, and they gonna save me for last. Now, mind you, that do sound crazy coming from a 6-year-old. I think that's how old she is. So the daddy is pissed, y'all. The daddy snatched the little girl up and carry her to the car. Okay, I get it. For a 6-year-old to be talking about murder, that is crazy. But why you not gonna let her say bye to the mama? The daddy could have played that real cool. And even if the situation it was in reverse and it was the daddy house and the mama came to pick them up, okay, fine. Let the kid hug them one more time, and then when you get back home, call the people and be like, y'all, like, she crazy or he crazy. I can't let the kid go over there no more. So I don't understand why he was like snatching the daughter, wouldn't let her hug her goodbye, was all like waving through the window. I'm like, hey, kids say the darndest things. It's not like she was bruised or murdered or something herself, you know. So I wasn't really here for that the daddy didn't even let them hug goodbye. Like, even if the daughter did hear the mom say that, come on now. I know you think the mom on drugs or used to take a lot of pills, but come on now. Y'all was married all that time. You should know that she herself ain't gonna murder the daughter, you know. Okay, you guys, so Angela Bassett Lee is so distraught by the fact that her ex-husband came and just snatched her daughter off her. We all know she's a recovering alcoholic, y'all. She goes straight for the wine cellar and she gets so drunk. She is pissy drunk. She fall over, hit a cabinet, bust a bowl, and she is just off. So Shelby and Matt come find her all drunk because they heard a noise like she broke the bowl, and they could see she's super drunk. I think Angela Bassett did a good job playing a drunk woman. And so they basically see she fell off the wagon. So the brother comes and, like, you know, picks her up, takes her to the bed. Oh, and then the wife looks up and see that there's a bunch of knives in the ceiling. Angela Bassett was like, I didn't do that. But y'all, she's super drunk. She just broke something. So they think she did do it. So they kind of ignore it. So while Angela Bassett is getting put in the bed by her brother, the wife started calling. At first I was pissed off because I was like, dang, you see his sister drunk, like, why don't you give him a second to get his sister together? So I was kind of annoyed that the wife was all calling the husband. But then, hey, when the husband does go to the wife's side, they see some eerie lady standing outside. She like, am I tripping, or do you see that? So when I saw that, I was like, okay, now I see why she was interrupting their brother and sister time or whatever. Because yeah, so they both saw it or whatever, and I think they ended up following it, if I'm not mistaken. So they follow the person, and then they end up in some cellar. I would not go into anything underground ever after y'all experienced all this, but hey, I guess if I pay $40,000 for something, I'm gonna want to see every part. So they go down to the cellar. They find this very modern room, or somewhat modern room, considering ain't nobody lived there that long. It wasn't that much dust in the room for it to be a cellar. So anyway, they find this what do you call it, let me see which way I should go. I think I'm gonna go this way. They find this VHS of this guy who moved in the house in 1992. He was a doctor. If I'm not mistaken, his name is Elias. So Dr. Elias said he had moved in the house because he's an author and he was doing like a story on scary stuff himself. But he was like, this house is too scary. I moved in the cellar because whatever is in the house and in that woods is trying to kill me, and I'm not having it. So he talks about how a long time ago there was these two sister nurses who took in a whole bunch of old people. They basically made a assisted living home for old people, but they took the worst of the old people, the people who were almost about to die, people whose family who was tired of like taking care of an old person. That way, like, people who wasn't gonna get checked on. So basically these two sisters basically just kill all these old people. They blow their heads off, they give them poison and all type of stuff. So they kill people whose names start with M-U-R-D-E-R. They basically trying to spell murder or whatever. So they get all the way to the end and they about to find somebody with an R, but then they mysteriously disappear. So the doctor on the video is saying, hey, you know, people think the house is haunted by them, but I think the house is haunted by somebody else, and whoever the house is haunted by killed those two nurses. Now Matt believes this because earlier he had a dream himself that he walked in the living room and saw these two nurses killing Maggie, whose name started with who was the M of the murder. Like, they walked in and they were like messing with her or whatever, and then they blew her brains out right in front of Cuba Gooding Jr. But he thought he was tripping. It was late at night. He had woke up. He thought he was tripping, so he kind of ignored it. But now he hearing what the doctor saying on the video. He was like, oh yeah, this is true. And he had the phone start ringing and somebody was saying help me or some creepy sign, so he was all listening to that. But come to find out, y'all, that phone wasn't even plugged up. I would have been so out of there, like, man. So after they watched the video, Cuba Gooding Jr. remember where he saw the nurses at, so he goes back to the place and pulls the wallpaper down, and there it is, murder written on the wall. They said they've been trying to sell the house for years, and they kept painting over the murder, but somehow, some way, the word murder kept showing through the wall. The paint was peeled and murder would keep showing up, so finally somebody wallpapered it. So I guess that's how it's covered. So now that they see it, they still there, y'all. I'm like, yeah, y'all crazy. I would have to take an L on that 40,000. Man, can't y'all move into Lee's house, or where your mama at? You said she around there. So y'all remember last episode where the wife got lost in the woods? So Shelby all lost in the woods. Kathy Bates, she's the leader of these crazy pig people. Cause they be roasting pigs. It's pigtails all taped to the trees and stuff. So Kathy Bates is the leader. She said she the queen of the hive. She the highest of the fire of the fire, whatever she said, y'all. So she the leader of these killers. And I guess that lady in a dress was Lady Gaga, but I mean, their costumes are so intense. Like, I didn't recognize her, but I read something that said that was her, but I didn't catch that was her. So we know Lady Gaga is one of these people in the woods too, or whatever. So they walk up on them having a bonfire. I guess one of the people in the colony wanted to get out, so he was running away. He took some of their stuff, so they caught him, and now they about to roast him as punishment. Like, oh, you trying to leave our little pig eating, killing people colony? Like, no, that's not how we work. So they kill him or whatever. Mind you, they seen that, y'all, and they still stuck. Oh, it's the hillbillies. They just trying to get us out. And I'm like, okay, those three broke ass hillbillies, you think they got enough money and time to put a man on a griller thing and all that meat they had? I mean, that was a lot. Like, I don't know. That don't seem like somebody who just trying to get you out of the house. That was pretty elaborate. And they called the cops, and luckily, unlike all the last times they called the cops and all the evidence disappeared, this time the bonfire was still there, the meat was still there, and all of that, y'all. So it's going down. But Shelby passed out, and she told everybody what happened. And so the husband was like, oh yeah, we can go, don't worry. If this happened to you, if that's what you saw, if this for real, I believe you, I love you, let's just get out of there. But Shelby was like, nope, F them, F their couch, I'm not about to let them run we off. We about to fight them. Next time we hear noise, next time we see them, oh, it's going down. So Shelby ready for action now, y'all. So Shelby ain't trying to leave no more. So they plan to just find out what happened. So drunk Angela Bassett is pissed that she can't see her daughter, so she go kidnap the little girl. And they all playing and twiddling, da-da-da-da-da. The daddy called, was like, where my kid? And the white wife answered like, yeah, we sorry. She tripping. She know it's not her day. She just really wanted to see her after what happened. Just come get her. Please don't call the cops. We'll be here waiting for you. And I thought it was interesting, when Shelby was on the phone with the husband, Mason, ex-husband Mason, I guess Mason was like, I'm gonna call the police. And then Shelby was like, oh no, you don't want your daughter to see, her mother dealing with the cops. But she used to be a cop herself. So I noticed Angela Bassett gave her an eyebrow like, what? But I know Shelby didn't mean it like that, but I think Angela Bassett was offended as an ex-cop. Like, you don't want to see her mama dealing with the cops? Like, I am a cop. But since she all drunk, nobody really in fire, nobody consider her a cop no more. So that was pretty much it, you guys. While they waiting for the daddy come, Angela Bassett like, oh, let me go say to my daughter, hi to my daughter, because I don't know when I'm gonna see her now or whatever, right? So she go look for the daughter, y'all. She is gone. The daughter was doing her homework. Then she heard some laughing, so she go follow the laughing, and I'm assuming it's like the dead people or that little girl Priscilla from the closet, y'all. So the daughter is missing. They searched the whole house, the little closet, all the rooms. They outside. They in the woods. Angela Bassett look up. I don't know what made her look up, because I would not have looked up that high. And then the daughter's little yellow coat is hanging from the hanging from a tree or whatever, real high. So the daughter is missing, y'all, and that's how it pretty much ends. So we don't know what's gonna happen when the daddy come get his daughter. Hopefully they find the daughter. I think they gonna find the daughter, because it's only the second episode. And like the daughter said, they said they was gonna kill her last, so maybe the daughter's just missing. So that's it, you guys. That was American Horror Story season 2. You know what, I need to look up to see if they have names. I didn't. Each episode has a name, which I'm sure it does, but I didn't catch it this time. So I don't know, you guys. What do you think? Like I said, I'm gonna still watch it, but to me, honestly, I was just like, haunted story, you know, haunted people in the woods. So the second episode didn't make me feel like, oh my God, it's getting better and better. Not yet, you know. It's basically still some creepy people in the woods, you know. So hopefully it gets more interesting and you know, it gets better from here. All right, you guys, you know what's up. Give me the thumbs up on this video and go ahead and check me out on Twitter at TammyB_. All right, bye.